Hi, and welcome to 6th grade Honors ELA. I'm Miss Kime.
And I'm Mrs. Capilano.
And we will be your ELA teachers this year. If you have me, Miss Kime, for ELA, you will not have Mrs. Capilano, and vice versa.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Capilano. I was born and raised in the Ole Valley, and I went to the University of Iowa for my undergraduate degree. Go Hawks! I also have a master's degree in classroom technology from Wilkes University. You may have seen me around the valley, as I am also the head field hockey coach at the high school. I have two beautiful boys and a cute French bulldog puppy. I love the Harry Potters and Hunger Games series, and I love the beach and love to travel the world.
Hi, I'm Miss Kime. I did not graduate from Ole Valley. However, I am a Berks County native. I graduated from Hamburg High School, and then I went on to get my undergraduate degree from Kutztown University. I am currently in the process of getting my master's from Wilkes University, and I'm also going through the same program that Mrs. Capilano went through, classroom technology. In my free time, you can find me snowboarding and escaping to Vermont just about every other weekend from the months of October to May. I absolutely love it up there, and at some point in my future, I will probably end up relocating up there permanently because I just love Vermont. I also love to travel. I've been to Iceland twice. While I was there, I was able to see the Northern Lights, which was my number one bucket list item. It was the coolest experience of my entire life. I also have a 19-year-old kitten. Yes, I refuse to accept the fact that he is no longer a kitten, so I will still call him that. He is elderly, and he is a Siamese. He is my little angel.
So welcome to 6th grade ELA. This is a copy of our class syllabus. Going through the syllabus, required materials for each class period are a fully charged laptop, writing utensil, and the ELA binder that was given out the first 2 days of orientation, or if you were able to come in and pick it up. And you will also need whatever current novel or book that we are reading at the time. Class expectations are always to be kind, stay engaged, and work hard. It's important that all students log into class on time, and video must be on. You need to mute yourself upon arrival in class. And students are expected to be actively engaged in lessons, which means they must be responsive in a timely manner when they are called upon. All assignments are expected to be turned in and completed on time. Grades will be formal assessments and will come in many different forms, such as tests, quizzes, projects, and presentations. We will be using a variety of websites and apps throughout the school year, including No Red Ink for grammar, Sallier for vocabulary, Quizlet to practice our vocabulary, Google Drive, which will include Google Docs, Google Presentations, etc., IXL for enrichment and remediation, and then the platform that we'll be using for virtual is Schoology, where all assignments, all class conference times and links can be found, and a way for students to message us throughout the school year. Academic dishonesty will not be tolerated. Therefore, cheating, copying, or plagiarism of any form will result in a disciplinary referral. Extra credit will be accelerated reader, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Okay, so first here, we're going to talk about the reading component of 6th grade ELA. So in 6th grade reading, we're going to be reading a variety of different texts. We're going to be starting out with The Diary of Anne Frank, the play version. I am super excited about this. The kids absolutely love reading this and learning about the Holocaust. After we finish with The Diary of Anne Frank, we're going to move on to The Outsiders, which will be our first whole class novel. And then throughout the rest of the school year, we're going to be doing a poetry unit where we read Edgar Allan Poe, Robert Frost, and we're also going to be studying the Kobe Bryant Dear Basketball poem. We'll be reading a multitude of different short stories, as well as our whole class novel at the end of the school year, The Hunger Games.
As we're reading each unit, we're going to be covering a variety of focus skills on the different genres, such as characterization, plot, setting, analyzing literature, theme, conflict, and vocabulary, just to name a few.
So also, while during the different units that we're going to be reading and learning about throughout the school year, there's a whole variety of other skills that we're also going to be focusing on. One of the main ones is connecting through personal experience. This is something that is absolutely critical to Mrs. Capilano and myself. We think it's really important for students to understand and be able to relate what we're learning about an ELA class to their lives and to the real world, because that's the whole purpose of education, is to prepare them for life after school. We're also going to be building background before we start reading different novels and stories. Like, for instance, we'll be building background about the Holocaust prior to reading the Diary of Anne Frank, studying vocabulary that students might need to know specifically to a story, the different skills that we had listed on the slide before this, performing different types of assessments, a lot of different projects and small different formative assessments, and also, especially during online learning, participating in class discussions. This is important when we come back to school, but it's also especially important for virtual learning, because it's the easiest way for us to discuss and, for students to benefit from hearing their classmates' responses.
Accelerated reader. So we're going to still be encouraging the students to be reading AR books throughout the school year. But however, our main idea is that students are creating a passion for reading through student choice. We want them reading books that they enjoy reading, because we are trying to create lifelong readers. So obviously, accelerated reader, we would be giving extra credit points for any tests that they take and receive a 90% or higher on. They can receive 1 extra credit point per test and up to 3 tests or extra credit points per trimester. We're hoping to encourage independent reading, student choice, and just a love and passion for independent reading.
Okay, now moving on to the writing component of 6th grade ELA. So in 6th grade writing, we're going to be focusing on writing skills, which we're going to talk about in the next slide here, vocabulary and spelling, which is going to be done through the Sadlier app. This is something that students, they don't need, once they log in the first time, they will not need to keep logging in over and over again, because when they log in through the Clever portal, it'll automatically log them in. And then also grammar. This is something that they will also be logging into via the Clever portal, and they'll be using this through No Red Ink.
6th grade writing. Okay, one major component of 6th grade writing is the 6th grade ELA journal, which students have already accessed and put into their Google Drive. This will be in the form of Google Slides, and it's informal writing. We want students to be comfortable getting the writing from what they're thinking and what they're feeling out onto paper, pencil, and in this case, typing it out. We will also be doing formal writing. That can come in the form of informative, explanatory, argumentative, persuasive, poetry, narratives, and TDAs, text-dependent analysis. We are also going to focus on the writing process, which includes pre-writing, drafting, editing, proofreading, and publishing.
Okay, so again, talking about Sadlier, there are 15 vocabulary units in the Sadlier workshop, the vocab workshop that you see over here. That's not to say that we're going to get to all 15 units. In fact, I have yet to get to 15 units in a school year. However, this is our end goal. We really try to push for this. It's just, it may not end up happening. In the beginning of every 2 weeks, students will be getting a new bank of words where they'll be getting 20 different words. And then there will be a quiz or an assessment one time every 2 weeks. And again, the vocabulary resource that we're using for this is Sadlier. And then Mrs. Capilano and myself, we also put the vocabulary words onto Quizlet. That way students can practice, and that way they don't have to actually make tactile flashcards. They can if they would like to at home, but Quizlet automatically creates flashcards for them to study from. It's just a fantastic review resource.
For grammar, usage, and mechanics, we're going to be using the No Red Ink website and app. We're going to cover nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs, prepositions, conjunctions, interjections, subject and verb agreement, and conventions.
Okay, so for homework, Mrs. Capilano and our policy is that we don't really give a ton of outside homework. Obviously, sometimes it will be kind of unavoidable, but for the most part, we really try to respect the fact that students have lives outside of school and they're in school all day. So we really want them to, take that break when they get home from school, or once they're finished with their schoolwork in the virtual learning case that we're in right now. But the homework that you will see most commonly in ELA class are just assignments that the students did not get time to finish during the class period. And that this must be finished for homework and then submitted via Schoology.
And that is 6th grade Honors ELA in a nutshell. Thank you for listening to our presentation. If you have any questions, concerns during the school year, please do not hesitate to call or send us a message on Schoology, or even send us an email. You can see Ms. Keim and my, Mrs. Capilano's information down at the bottom of this screen.
We're so excited to have a fantastic year.